Klaus and, you know, the Michelson, and then of course the Bachelor is coming back, Michael. So can you give us an update?
I will say that if you watch the season finale of the originals, you know that, you know, Klaus and Elijah have said goodbye to Rebecca. The werewolves are in control of the French Quarter. They are powerful, and their bite can kill vampires and even hurt the originals. And they are being controlled by Francesca, who's basically a very, very dangerous gangster. You know, and she has territorial control of the French Quarter. And she does not want Haley around because Haley is a threat to her leadership. Does not want the baby around. They believe that the baby is dead. How long until that secret is revealed to be untrue? And then in the final moments of the finale, we revealed that Davina has brought back Michael. Now remember, Davina has every reason to hate the originals because of Klaus. Her love, Tim, was poisoned and died, so she's got a vendetta against Klaus. She's brought back Michael, the Destroyer, the vampire hunter, you know, the vampire who hunts vampires. And also Esther is back in the form of the final harvest resurrected witch, and she's brought back somebody, a mysterious someone who referred to her as Mother. So we can assume that that is either Finn or Cole. And all I will tell you is that in true form to any other Julie Plec season of television, we're not going to waste a lot of time before we get to the stuff that you want to happen.
Good news.
There will be a confrontation between the brothers and their father. Davina is going to have to make a decision about what she wants to do, and is she willing to risk Michael killing Klaus, even if that White Oak Steak killing Klaus means that Marcel and Josh will also die. And we also have to play with what is Esther's agenda, who is she going to make an alliance with, what does she ultimately want, because on Vampire Diaries she wanted to just destroy her children and eliminate vampires. Has she made any decisions about what she could do to her children that might be more in line with making up for the sins of the past? I think that's one of the themes of our season, is history repeating, dealing with the sins of the past, and kind of the eternal reciprocal nature of our wrongdoing from the past coming back and affecting our present. So Esther's going to have a definite agenda, and so too will that brother, whoever it may be. So we'll see a lot of him as well.
Now, anything that you're really looking forward to the fans' reaction to in season 2?
I think we have some of the most incredible actors working on television. And, you know, I was walking through the floor today, and I saw all the trailers for a lot of the other shows. And they had incredible special effects and incredible production value. And I think we have that as well. But I also think we have Joseph Morgan. I think we have Daniel Gillies. We have Sebastian Shane, you know, who's phenomenal. And we have some people coming in, and I can't give away spoilers as to who these people are going to be playing. They are great actors playing characters who are new, and some characters that are maybe returning in a new way.
Wow.
And you'll get to see them really shake things up. And when you guys watch Joseph Morgan go toe-to-toe with Sebastian O'Shea, and when you get to see Daniel Gillies go toe-to-toe with some of the people that we're bringing onto the show, it just really inspires me as a writer, and inspires our writers to just tell great stories. So I'm so blown away by what our actors are doing with these scripts that it just makes me very happy and very excited.
Obviously, everybody wants to know, will we be seeing Caroline in New Orleans? Will there be any sort of crossover this season? Will we see Klaus back in Mystic Falls? Are we going to see any interaction between our characters?
Sure. I mean, you know, I want to be very honest and respectful. I know the fan community really loves Caroline, and there's a whole shipper phenomenon that takes place with our show where everybody wants Klaus to be with somebody else, or everybody wants Elijah to be with somebody else. And, you know, from my point of view, I come at it from a character standpoint and what is best for the characters. And right now, Klaus is dealing with the return of his mother and the return of his father, the adoption, the forced adoption of his child, and it really kind of feels like it would be arbitrary fan service to just say, hey, Klaus, why don't you go to Mystic Falls? And I don't think the fan community wants us to just tell random stories. I think they want us to tell stories with purpose. So there may be crossovers down the line. I think that's a Julie question. But I think for right now, he's got so much to deal with in New Orleans that there's definitely going to be a very strong focus in dealing with his parents and all of the stuff that they're going to unleash. So that's going to be where his focus is. You had a question.
I was going to say, do you feel the genre in the last couple of years has really? I mean, we kind of talk about how it's exploded, but it really has exploded in the last couple of years. Do you feel
supernatural?
Yeah,
or vampires?
Well, it's both of them, I think, and I think specifically trying to keep a very distinct story and a very distinct mythology in a noisy space.
You know, sometimes I get so caught up in the creation of the show that I lose a little bit of, it's kind of, you're in the eye of the hurricane and it's tough to understand what do the fans think of all this. But I watch the show with my wife and she does not know what's happening. We don't talk about it. And when she watches the show, we watch it together. She's, excited. She's on the edge of her seat. She's thrilled. She's scared. She's crying. She's laughing. And I think our show, because it is set in the fantasy world of this supernatural New Orleans, because it has action, it has adventure, it has elements of horror, it clearly has elements of romance, and it also has this theme of family above all. It really manages to appeal to a lot of areas that I, as a writer, like to explore. And it's a good reminder of that when I watch the show. I think there has been an explosion of interest in fantasy and supernatural and horror genre. And I think at the end of the day, we could tell this story without the supernatural stuff and make it just about issues of family. Would you keep a child that you found out you had because of a one-night stand? Would you want to have the best world for that baby? What would you do if your brother was a complete lunatic and an addict and a psychological mess? Would you still try to save him? I think that Elijah's position trying to save Klaus is one that I'm really, really interested in. And I know this person is also really interested
I'm funny about like her interviews. Oh, let's take a picture.
So that's my long-winded answer here.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Mike, after the
Thank you.
you guys good?
Yeah,
Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
I hope we can do some more at the panel.
Yeah, that was great.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Bye, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, guys. Hi, Julie.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
thank
So
you.
good to see you.
Very sweet.
Oh, the kids from Brazil said hi. If I don't tell, I mean,
Brazil is like, I've never seen, they can trend something faster
Right.
yes.
than any country in the planet. Like,
Isn't that?
I'm blown away by what Brazil can accomplish when they put their minds to it.
Awesome. Thank you.
So let's get to it.
Okay.
We need to know.
We need to know a lot.
Yes.
Will we be seeing the baby?
Yes.
Oh,
Will we be seeing Claire Holmes?
Yes.
Really?
there.
Soon?
How long, for how long, and when, I won't tell you. But yes and yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
What about crossover Vampire Diaries?
It's possible. I can't speak. I will never answer another Caroline question. No, I'm kidding.
You know you're gonna get asked it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to be 100% honest about Caroline. I do think that there is a potential at one point for us to see her on the originals. I just think that it's going to take each of their individual characters getting to the right place where that feels like an organic choice. And that might take some time. And I know that's the kind of answer that not a single fan in the world is going to like very much. But, you got to get them both there. And right now, neither of them are in a place where they really should be in the same universe. I don't see Caroline in the New Orleans universe at all right now. It doesn't fit. Yeah. So in the life of the series, it's definitely a possibility. In the next 6 months, probably not. but we are sitting around talking about a crossover, not with Caroline, but just with the Vampire Diaries universe. That if it works out, I'll be very excited. But it's too soon to tell, and until we actually literally roll camera on that, I won't believe we're gonna make it work. So.
Are we gonna be getting some Klaus baby bonding? Because everybody likes to
see a handsome man cooing over his child. I hope so. We want our family to be able to connect with their child. Obviously, the whole plan is we have to stay as far away as possible because otherwise we're outing all this, destroying all the effort we put into making sure nobody knew she's alive. But we've been talking about really smart and organic ways to get a moment, even though where our characters don't look stupid for doing it, but it fits right into the story exactly where we need it to.
Do you play with the moonlighting factor in the sense that when you hear the fans asking for couples to be created or people brought together, is there not a science in television that says, I hear you, but I'm going to hold it back as long as I can to build the tension to breaking point?
Yeah, I mean, I get in the fights with my own writers in the writers' room about when certain characters should kiss. And they get so mad at me because they'll write a script and they'll break a story and then they'll be, last year it was like, and then Elijah and Haley kiss. And I'm like, no they don't. No they don't. Because you gotta hold off with the kiss, you gotta hold off from remembering that longing and wanting, in my opinion, is more powerful than getting. And it's not to say that it's a big tease, because that's not fair either. It's just that there's less conflict and there's less storytelling, and interesting storytelling in happiness. So when you're going to get two characters happily together, you better have a lot going on that can support the rest of your show so that those two characters can exist in peace together. And, there are shows like Derek and Meredith on Grey's Anatomy that I reference in the Vampire Diaries writers room all the time. Is like, you could have a happy couple that you don't need to force conflict for, and you can feel so happy and comfortable with them, and it just makes you smile. You find your conflict elsewhere. So, it all depends on the context and the show and the couple and the timing.
Well, can you tell me, is Nathan Parsons pleased being added as a series regular?
He's not as yet because he was a series regular on True Blood.
Right.
So we've just finally started writing the script where we see Jackson again.
Good. I love
we love him. We thought he did a terrific job. I think he's a great character, and we have a great story for him. So we'll see if it works and how long it lasts.
Sorry. Who writes Rebecca's lines? They're amazing. We cry with her, we laugh with her.
I have a feeling
she's my best friend.
Credit mostly to probably Claire Holt for being as good as she is, but we all collectively can probably take credit for a piece of gold, a nugget of Rebecca Gold here and there, the whole writing staff.
She's amazing.
How is Haley dealing with her maternal instincts and her baby being gone? I mean, I'm a mother, and I'm just like...
Well, a lot of times women who give birth can go through some struggles and some hard times, and when you compound that by the fact that she actually doesn't have her child in her possession, and also every single emotion she has is now supernaturally, heightened because of the vampirism and the hybrid thing. She's a mess. She's not good. Elijah's worried about her. He's
gonna take care of her, right?
His concern. Elijah's concern is that he's not equipped to take care of her, and that he might need a little help in the form of his brother to kind of step up and be a good friend to her. And of course, Klaus doesn't like being a good friend to anybody, so we'll see if he can get on board with that.
What's been your most challenging storyline so far?
Oh gosh. It's funny that the hardest part of the entire first season, weirdly enough, was the very first episode, because we had already done the spin-off episode of Vampire Diaries, and then we were told by the network, you can't assume that A, anyone's watching Vampire Diaries, and B, anyone saw that episode. And even if A and B are true, they have, C, they probably forgot it all already. So you have to kind of create a new pilot. You have to introduce this world all over again. And trying to crack that nut was like, Nardici and I, we almost went insane. brain, you know, trying to figure out how to make it compelling, how to make it just not 42 straight minutes of exposition. I mean, I think it was like 27 straight minutes of exposition, but it was an incredible burden. And I remember some critic commented on, you know, that it was just exposition central, and I was like, listen, mister, you try this. You have no idea what we just went through trying to get this on the page. Like, just give it a shot.